we really talked about what the meaning of a vow is. A vow is a sacred covenant. It's a promise, it's a contract. And a vow is a solemn promise not to be taken lightly, and it's not given without thought. I know both of you to be people of integrity, and when you state vows to one another, these are something very important and special. So if you've known each other for a long time, worked together, you've been together for 7 years, practically every waking minute together. Yet today is going to mark a new and a special day. You've learned a lot about each other, but you're going to learn a lot more about each other. And today you're going to stand in front of all your friends here, your family, and your God, and you're going to state vows that you're making solemn promises. And it's very, very important, special. And you look into each other's eyes and commit to one another that you love each other forever, for better, for worse, sickness and in health, and all the good times and the bad times. And we hope there's a lot more good times than bad, and celebrate those good times. But remember today, when those tough times come, and the vows you're about to state, that will help you through those tough times. Everybody here has an experience that they can share. So sometime today, share with them your thoughts and your experience with marriage. I'm gonna give you a little bit of an idea. It's a quote attributable to Phyllis Diller, who was a comedian in parents' generation. She actually had a great marriage, lasted a long time in Hollywood, which is unusual. Her advice to a young married couple: never go to bed angry. Stay up and fight. So at this moment, I'm going to ask the parents, and we're going to start with Carrie, if you want to say some few things.
Hold on, tuck it under here.
Sorry.
It's there. Is it? It's like in there.
All right, Patty and Lindsay, this is a quote I found. It's based on a quote from Dante. Remember tonight, for it is the beginning of always. A promise, like a reward for persisting through life so long alone. A belief in each other and the possibility of love. A decision to ignore, simply rise above the pain of the past. A covenant which at once binds two souls and yet severs prior ties. A celebration of the chance taken and the challenge that lies ahead. For two will always be stronger than one, like a team braced against the tempest civil world. And love will always be the guiding force in your lives. For tonight is merely a formality, only an announcement to the world of feelings long held. Promises made long ago in the sacred places of your hearts. I love you both.
So, something I read at Matt and Garney's. It was good. And as you know, Garney couldn't be here today because he's due in a couple weeks. So, it's a quote by A.A. Milne. If there are several children you'd like to speak, why not get them all stand up to... Oh, I'm sorry. Boy. If you live to be 100, I want to live to be 100 minus 1 day, so I'll never have to live without you. Piglet sidled up to Pooh, and from behind, Pooh, he whispered. Yes, Piglet. Nothing, said Piglet, taking Pooh's hand. I just wanted to be sure of you. We'll be friends forever, won't we, Pooh? Asked Piglet. Even longer, Pooh answered. If there ever is a tomorrow when we're not together, there is something you must always remember. You are braver than you believe, stronger than you seem, smarter than you think, and the most important thing is, even if we're apart, I'll always be with you. So remember that. Yeah.
gonna kind of ad-lib it here for just a second. So most of you people here know that Lindsay and Patty are non-traditional. That's why we're seeing the wedding the way that it is. Some people may have thought, why did they come out in a procession like that? Because it's highly unusual. When I was first told about it, I was, okay, you're non-traditional, I can roll with this. And the more I got thinking about it, the more I got thinking, wow, this is actually, and they're hearing this for the first time, I just want everybody to know this, okay? This is really, actually very profound. Because what I saw in it was symbolic that Steve and Carrie have been married, a successful marriage, a strong marriage, and been through highs and lows, raised 3 beautiful children, 3 successful adults, 37 years. They came out. Then Chris and I come out. We've been married 32 and a half years, raised 3 beautiful children, successful children. And you know what? I look at that, they came out last behind us, behind the parents, together, forging on the same path. That's a strength for both of you to think about, that you're following in your parents' footsteps for a strong and stable marriage. I love you both.
Chris?
I could tell this story without reading it, but it would last way too long. So I wrote it down last night. So
You can do it.
approximately 1.5 years ago, Patty and Lindsay came to our house to visit. I believe it was Christmas. Can't believe I'm doing this. Oh. Okay. Darcy had gone into the other room. Patty started walking over to me from the dining room. Lindsay said, "Hey, Dad, Patty needs to talk to you." So, immediately, I started to think of things that he would need to ask me. I'm thinking, I mean, I knew it was in the works, but, so to keep this short, he asked me for my daughter's hand in marriage. She's not with us. And so I started to go into panic. I said, "Stop. You have to stop. Darcy, Patty wants to talk to us." So, I kind of interjected there. So I was thinking about Darcy's reaction to asking me without her input. So I said to her, you need to be present. So I called her back into the kitchen and advised Patty that he should start over again when she gets here. When she got back, Patty politely started over and asked for our permission to marry Lindsay. My reaction was, okay, good, we're good. Darcy's response was a little more detailed, but in the end, of course, her answer was yes. "Daddy, we will be proud to finally refer to you as our son-in-law. After today, Lindsay, we are very happy for you to be marrying such a fine man. We're all very excited to see what exciting things happen in the lives of Patty and Lindsay after this exciting day. I can promise you both that there will be trials and tribulations as you go forward in this marriage. The important thing is you push through them and rejoice in the wonderful events that come to you in your marriage. In closing, to quote my late father-in-law after marrying Darcy and I, Patty, she's all yours now. You can't give her back.
Find up with Grandma McIntosh.
Well, Lindsay asked me several days ago of Grandma. I'm Grandma McIntosh. If I had anything to say, and I said, no, not yet. And I don't want to say anything too religious because I know this is kind of just an informal meeting here today. But if her grandpa had been alive, he would have done this ceremony, I'm sure. I have a card that says that from Lindsay years ago when she was a little girl, okay? But Grandpa McIntosh passed 3 years ago, so he's not here. But I'm gonna read something that Grandpa would have used at a marriage ceremony because he was a minister of the gospel. And Brother has already mentioned the word covenant. It's the word covenant. A covenant agreement is to bind two people or parties together. The grounds for this union were always based on their differences, not their similarities. You got 'em. Since the covenant agreement was entered based on differences and not similarities, their strengths and weaknesses balanced each other out. This union made both parties or people stronger. The purpose of covenant is to establish a relationship which is impossible to break. Human love without a covenant always has a self-preservation and self-protection quality about it. Human love is never totally unselfish apart from covenant. It can never completely give of itself for fear of being hurt. So, entering into this covenant, you're entering into accountability to and before God to do all you can with His help to make this marriage strong, healthy, and lasting. I love you, Patty.
Well, we come now to the words Patty and Lindsay want to hear most today, and that's the words that take them across the threshold from living together to being engaged to being married. Marriage, as most of us understand, is a full and voluntary commitment. It is made in the deepest sense to the exclusion of all others and is entered into with the desire and hope it will last forever. Before you declare your vows to one another, I need to hear you confirm that it is indeed your intention to be married today. So Lindsay, do you come here freely without reservation to give yourself Patty?
I do.
You do. And Patty, do you come freely without reservation to give yourself to Lindsay in marriage? I do. Patty and Lindsay, having heard that it is your intention to be married to each other, I now ask you to declare your marriage vows. Please face each other and hold hands. And Lindsay, repeat after me. I, Lindsay, take you, Patty, to be my husband.
I, Lindsay, take you, Patty, to be my husband.
I will share my life with yours,
I will share my life with yours,
build our dreams together,
build our dreams together,
support you through times of trouble,
support you through times of trouble,
and rejoice with you in times of happiness.
and rejoice with you in times of happiness.
I promise to give you respect,
I promise to give you respect,
love, and loyalty through all the trials and triumphs of our lives together.
love, and loyalty through all the trials and triumphs of life together.
This commitment is made in love,
This commitment is made in love,
kept in faith,
kept in faith,
lived in hope,
lived in hope,
and made new every day of our lives.
and made new every day of our lives.
Patty, repeat after me. I, Patty, take you, Lindsay, to be my wife. I will share my life with yours,
I will share my life with yours,
build our dreams together,
build our dreams together,
support you through times of trouble,
support you in times of trouble,
and rejoice with you in times of happiness.
and rejoice with you in times of happiness.
I promise to give you respect,
I promise to give you respect,
love, and loyalty through all the trials and triumphs of our lives together.
love, and loyalty through all the trials and triumphs of our life together.
This commitment is made in love,
This commitment is made in love,
kept in faith,
kept in faith,
lived in hope,
lived in hope,
and made new every day of our lives.
and made new every day of our lives.
Matt? The wedding ring is an outward and visible sign of the inward and invisible bond which already unites two hearts in love. Patty, take your ring, place it on Lindsay's finger. State after me. I give you this ring,
I give you this ring,
wear it with love and joy,
wear it with love and joy.
as this ring has no end,
As this ring has no end,
my love is also forever.
my love is also forever.
Lindsay, your ring. Stay this ring,
I give you this ring,
wear it with love and joy,
wear with love and joy,
as this ring has no end.
as this ring has no end.
My love is also forever.
My love is also.
These wedding rings you've exchanged are a reminder that you are always surrounded by enduring everlasting love. So please join us in a prayer for the newlyweds, Lindsay and Patty. I offer these prayers to you on this special day. Heavenly Father, I pray their life together will be blessed with prosperity and good health. May you always share open and honest communication with each other. May you respect each other's individual talents and gifts and give full support to each other's professional and personal pursuits. May you cherish the home and family you will create together. May all the years to come be filled with moments to celebrate and renew your love. May your love be a lifelong source of excitement, contentment, affection, respect, and devotion to one another. And Lord, please grant them peace. We ask this in the name of Jesus. And everyone said? Amen. And now by the power vested in me by the state of New York, it's my honor and delight to declare you husband and wife, and you may kiss your bride.
What I'm talking about.
Did you see the one girl on the end, how much she looked like the bride? It's her sister. She looked just like her.